Hi everyone, my name is Meixin.
And I'm Antony P. Welcome to this video brought to you by the Center for Academic Literacy here at NTNU.
Today, we're going to talk about how to write a good introduction for your academic paper.
Maybe you're a beginner academic writer who's about to write your first paper. You might need some pointers on how to get started and what to look out for.
Maybe you're a more seasoned academic who's written quite a few papers of your own. If so, you might want to compare your writing approach to what we're about to share to see if you get any new insights.
Why is the introduction important, by the way? Isn't the discussion and conclusion more important?
Well, imagine you've been invited to the Met Gala. Wouldn't you want to dress to impress? And possibly grab the attention of the paparazzi. It's the same for writing. Ideally, you want to keep your readers hooked from the start. Look at that $1 million smile.
Thanks. I know. Anyway, a good introduction also ensures that your readers are kept on the same page as you from the very beginning.
What happens if they aren't?
Fortunately, or unfortunately, you don't have to find that out yourself. Just look at what happened to our friend, Detective Sherlock, when he didn't write a good introduction for his paper.
Hey Watson, I've written a paper on a case we worked on with Inspector Poe, the Mask of the Red Bread. I intend to submit it to a criminology journal.
Isn't that the one where the rich boy accidentally poisoned a bunch of guests at his exclusive party? If I remember right, he served them special red bread containing a food coloring that he didn't know was toxic, and several guests died from food poisoning.
Exactly. In my paper, I will discuss how he murdered his guests and...
Whoa, I'm gonna stop you there. Did you say murder? But the boy didn't do it on purpose.
What does it matter? People died.
Well, surprise, surprise, it does matter. We can't say that the boy murdered his guests, as the death of his guests was a result of an accident. This means that the definition of murder is problematic, which means that your discussion and conclusion are likely problematic as well. You have to edit your paper.
Now I just want to murder you.
In the interaction between Detective Sherlock and Dr. Whatson just now, we see Dr. Whatson reminding Detective Sherlock about the importance of defining key terms well.
Besides definitions, there are also several other elements that form the core of a strong introduction.
Over the next few minutes, we're going to illustrate these elements by taking you to Sockland.
You heard him right. We'll be conducting an investigation into the mystery of missing socks.
Buckle up and let's go on an adventure to Sockland.
One, problem statement. To get started, you should explain to your readers why they should care about the issue you're investigating.
In other words, you could begin your introduction by making a case for the issues under investigation or in focus.
To do this, you're helping the readers see and understand the problems that may arise for many people if the issues are not resolved.
You may also take this opportunity to draw on any relevant evidence such as statistics, facts, or expert opinions.
You should also explain any keywords that your readers need to understand.
Here's how the problem statement could look for our Sockland investigation.
To make a good case for a study, this is what we can do. Have you ever noticed how socks just disappear? According to a large-scale street interview conducted 2 months ago, 78% of households report losing at least one sock per month. We're gonna figure out why this happens because honestly, it's one of the biggest mysteries in our homes.
Here's how we can show the problems caused by, well, problem. Note also the percentage, which is the evidence described in this section. Imagine opening your dryer expecting to see all of your socks, but there's always one missing. This is a frustration shared by many, with a recent 2024 national survey estimating that 92% of people experience the disappearance of socks at least once in their lifetime.
Let's not forget to define the keywords. Before we dive in, let's talk about Sockland. researchers believe that Sockland is located in a parallel dimension. In fact, supporting this theory, a poll suggests that 42% of people believe their socks vanish into another dimension. Understanding Sockland is key to unraveling this mystery.
Number 2, set a theoretical stage. Next, we should set a theoretical stage to let your readers know that you're not the only one who thinks this way. In our study, we'll be using the sock theory as our theoretical reference. Here's how it will look. Legend has it that the sock monster only eats one sock from a pair because it's on a diet. This part of the story helps us guess why socks might disappear.
3. Overview of relevant studies. In an academic study, we need to constantly refer back to relevant studies to support our own statements. After all, we are nobodies, so what we say might not be convincing. This is where we use the words of senpais to help us.
In other words, we have to tell our readers, this is what others have said so far on the topic. We've divided this segment into 3 parts: the big picture, general findings, and research gaps.
Here's how you can talk about the big picture. Researchers committed to exploring the sock mystery have divided their efforts into the following 2 research areas: sock color and the laundry process.
Then we go into the general finding. Studies investigating sock color have found that colorful socks are more likely to disappear than dull ones.
Next, we talk about existing gaps in the literature. But here's the twist. Many studies have methodological weaknesses, such as small sample sizes, lack of control groups, or reliance on self-reported data.
Number 4, rationale and niche. Next, you should tell the readers why this study matters. Like this: since everyone has lost a sock and wondered about it, solving this mystery could be the key to peace of mind for laundry doers everywhere.
5. Scope and variables. At this point, you could remind the readers that you're not an expert on all things socks by talking about the scope and variables of the study. Since it's not feasible for us to interview all the grieving sock widows in the world, we've decided to narrow down our scope to those who lost their loved ones in dryers in Taipei. Victims of other disasters, please be patient. We'll give you justice in our next study.
6. Contribution. In your introduction, you should also briefly talk about your contribution to the field. This means that you should discuss why your study is important, like this: finding out why socks disappear and where they go could revolutionize laundry day, and maybe even lead to sock peace treaties.
7. Organization. Before you wrap up your introduction, you can also share about how you plan to organize your paper or thesis. This is like making a trailer for an upcoming movie. In this case, it's a paper rather than a movie, which is more exciting, right? Anyway, here goes.
We'll start by gathering sock disappearance stories, then theorize about Sockland and its residents, followed by our own explorations into sock hideouts. Each chapter gets us closer to solving the mystery of the missing socks. There we go, the 7 elements of a good introduction.
Did you get all that? Don't worry if you haven't. Here's a quick recap of the 7 elements.
1. Write a problem statement to make a good case, identify the problems, briefly mention key evidence, and define your keywords.
2. Set the theoretical stage to let your readers know what framework you're adopting.
3. Give a big picture overview of where the field is at, some general findings, and identify research gaps.
4. Discuss the rationale and niche of your study to tell your readers why your study matters.
5. Talk about the scope of your study and the variables you'll be investigating.
6. Discuss the importance of your study in the wider context.
And 7. Offer a brief overview of the organization of your paper or thesis.
That's it, the 7 elements of a good introduction.
We hope that the pointers we shared are useful to you.
Of course, that's not all to thesis writing. The above pointers have been extracted from Crack the Case, Nod Your Head, a beginner's guide to solving your thesis puzzle, published by the Center for Academic Literacy at NTNU.
Even if you're not that interested in thesis writing, don't worry, we've all been there. The book is still worth reading, as it contains many interesting stories of Detective Sherlock and Dr. Watson, as well as members of our writing team.
What are you waiting for? Grab a copy of the book and learn thesis writing in a relatively pain-free manner.
Again, thank you for watching. This is Meixin and Antony, your friendly writing buddies at the Center for Academic Literacy here at NTNU. Feel free to say hi when you see us on campus.
See you around!
See you around.
Of course, that's not all to thesis writing. The above pointers have been extracted from Crack the Case, Nod Your Head, a beginner's guide to solving your thesis puzzle, published by the Center for Academic Literacy at NTNU.
Even if you're not that interested in thesis writing, don't worry, we've all been there. The book is still worth reading, as it contains many interesting stories of Detective Sherlock and Dr. Watson, as well as members of our writing team.
What are you waiting for? Grab a copy of the book and learn thesis writing in a relatively pain-free manner.
Again, thank you for watching.